I'm looking for a globe earther. Oh, we got somebody already.
What's going on, bro?
What's up? So
Yeah,
the whole Earth is flat argument.
yeah. So, do you believe that we're taught the truth in school?
No, not all the truth. No,
So, like, how much of it is the truth?
about the Earth or is what they teach us in school.
No, I'm just saying. Just do you think that we're taught the truth? School is there to teach us what's really going on. It's there to teach us the truth.
No,
Do you think?
I think school is there to set us up to be a worker to work the rest of our lives.
Sure,
That's it.
I agree with that. But you say you don't think that they teach the truth in school?
No, so like I for like race, religion, ethnicity, the time frames of when things happen, they lie. They like to distort that and lie. So what I mean by that is, if you ask the most people, they think the Greek Romans, they think the Greeks, the Romans, the Christianity took over. Then the people came over here to escape being prejudiced, slaves, and then we just had peace. When actuality, it was more so all that stuff happened, a significant amount of time passed in our country, then we were free. And so that's why I don't feel that I feel like they just like when you look at the states on the map, they're different size. They're not even
Look,
at their
before we get to
scale to
before,
scale.
yeah, for sure, 100%, 100%. So, do you know what we did to learn before school came into play?
Experience.
I mean, before like we had to go through to kindergarten and then first grade all the way to 12th grade. You know how we learned
Oh,
to
we
read
would
and write?
travel and experience.
Well, to read and write, how did we learn?
To how to read and write,
Yeah,
I would say either our parents or yeah, I would think we just had to be taught.
yeah. We went to church for a few hours a week. We went a couple days out the week for a few hours to learn how to read and write. Do you know what made it mandatory for all of us to go to school?
No, what made it mandatory?
The General Education Board was founded in 1902, and that's what made it mandatory for us to have to start going to school. Do you know who founded the General Education Board?
No.
Okay, it was J.D. Rockefeller. Do you think that the Rockefellers are trustworthy people? Trustworthy, honest people?
If it's the Rockefellers I'm thinking of and I'm from Cleveland, no.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So they're the ones that choose the curriculum that we learn. Did you know before the 1900s, even into the 1900s, everybody believed that it was flat. It was in the 1500s, Copernicus introduced the whole globe Earth theory, and that's when people started to talk about it. But before that, everybody, all the ancient civilizations, every single one, they knew that the Earth was flat.
So let me ask you this. If the earth was flat, you could go to a certain height, shine a laser, and go to the other side, and that beam is going to be on point, right? If it's flat. But because and this is why I don't believe the earth is flat, because if it curves, if you go to that same point in height on a different side of the country or a different side of the world, that's not accurate. And
Hmm.
so if you put 2 points and you're like, hey, this is a straight line, I'm gonna go up to 400 feet, I'm gonna shine this, or I'm gonna take this and stretch it all the way over there. And you take someone else another point, that point should be the end point. It is not. In fact,
Have
it's a
you ever done
distant.
that before?
They've proved. I mean, you can do it with a flashlight. As you well,
I mean that's never been done. I get what you're saying, but that hasn't been done. So we can't even use that to keep it 100. But what we can see, I could ask you this. So in school, didn't you learn that like Australia was at the bottom of the ball?
it was on the other side, like to the. I didn't learn that it was at the bottom of the bowl.
That's
I
why they
learned that it
call it
was.
down under, right?
No, that's not what I was taught. I was taught that it was below another country, not but
No, yeah. So Australia is at the bottom. It's on the underside of the ball. That's why they called it down under. But did you ever think about like how are the people that are at the bottom of the ball, how are they not falling off? And people say gravity, right? So gravity, all the oceans in Australia, they don't fall off. Nothing happens to the ocean. A feather can float and everything. We can jump, but gravity supposedly keeps everything stuck to it. And when you go to Australia, you don't feel like you're hanging upside down. You feel like you're regular.
Yeah, and just like if you ever take one of those rides where you're spinning real fast, your viewpoint and how you feel is different. So and that's part of gravity because when you start spinning, you start putting more newtons on the force on the opposite force going one way than the other. So to
Mhm.
say that like we jump and we come back down, I'm using XOR for it to go that way, and the force is pushing me back down. That is to because then at that point I should be able to throw a ball off the earth. That makes no sense. I should be able to go to the edge of the earth and chuck a ball and get it off.
But
That
but
makes no
but
sense.
people that know that the Earth is flat and have looked at the maps before the globe thing that came out, you know that there's land beyond Antarctica. So there's more land. We don't know where the edge of the Earth is. It goes far. It keeps on going. So you wouldn't be able
So
to
you're
go to the
telling
edge
me if
and
I
just
start
chuck
at one end
something.
of if I stand at one end of Antarctica, south either one of the what would you say Antarctica?
So Antarctica is really it's really a circle. It's really a circle. It's a ring around our entire world. Our land masses are in the middle. They're all in the middle, and then it's surrounded by oceans. And then on the outside of the oceans, there's Antarctica, and Antarctica is a giant ring that keeps us all inside. It's a giant ice wall. Have you ever heard of the Antarctic Treaty?
No.
Yeah, everybody signed it. All the countries signed it, but we're not allowed to go to Antarctica. You can't fly. No planes can fly over to Antarctica and check it out and explore. Do you know why?
People explore Antarctica. That's where I'm kind
No,
of
no,
people like
no. No, wait, bro. You're 100% wrong with that. No disrespect, but that's look up the Antarctic Treaty. Anybody that's in here, just go ahead and look it up. You can't just go to Antarctica and check it out. The last person to go is Admiral Byrd. He went. He went to Antarctica, and he said there's land beyond Antarctica that's undiscovered that we don't know about.
okay.
Do you believe that we're
So
spinning right now at 1,000 miles per hour?
yeah, I would believe so. Yeah,
Yeah, so what makes you believe that we're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour? Do you know why you believe that?
because the Earth rotates.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the Earth rotates. Well, where did you learn that the Earth rotates?
I would say school.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. That's where I learned it. We all learned that. Everybody in this comment section that's saying, "Oh, you're crazy" and all of this. The Earth is a ball. We all learn that in school. But when we go outside, our common sense tells us, do you really think that you're spinning when you go outside and you look? Do you feel like you're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, or do you really believe that? If it wasn't for school.
The treaty you're talking about. I hate to do this.
No, look,
It was
look.
so
I'm
that
talking about the Earth spinning now, bro. The Earth spinning. I'm saying when you go outside, do you think that the Earth is spinning? When you go and you look and you just look outside your window, do you really believe that you're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour? Like I'm saying, if you weren't taught that in school,
so if you go
is
outside
that
and you look
the
in the window, do you know what you're looking at? When you go outside, you
no,
look in the
wait,
window.
you
Do you know
gotta
what you're
answer the
looking at?
question, bro. Wait, hold on. You gotta answer the question.
Yes, I
When
believe
you
we're
look out
spinning.
your
Yes, I believe
window,
we're spinning.
so what tells you that we're spinning? What do you observe that says, "Hey, I'm spinning right now"?
I would say the change from night and day because our sun doesn't move.
The change from night and day told you that you were spinning around because the
Yes.
sun
How
doesn't.
large
Who told you the sun doesn't move?
are you saying that does?
Hell yeah, the sun moves, bro. I look at the sun all the time. I
Look,
sungaze. Hell yeah, the sun moves. Yes, the sun moves. What doesn't move is Earth. That's why they did the experiment a long time ago. They said, okay, if the Earth is spinning, I'm gonna go up in this hot air balloon and I'm gonna stay in the hot air balloon for 24 hours, and then below me, I'm gonna be in a whole nother state because the Earth is spinning below me. And guess what? They went up into the hot air balloon and they're like, damn, nothing changed. It didn't move because the Earth is actually stationary. All of y'all, everybody in here, y'all believe what you're told. You believe when you go to school and they told you you're on a giant spinning ball, you believed it. They told us when we were young. I believed it too. They told us when we're young, when we're 6 years old, and the teacher tell us, everybody in the classroom believe it, the teacher believe it, our parents believe it, so we start believing it. But none of it really makes sense. It doesn't make sense for us to go outside and say we're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. Wow, and we're not just spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. We're blasting through space at 67,000 miles per hour too. So I'm spinning around at 1,000 miles per hour, blasting through space at 67,000 miles per hour, but I don't feel it.
do you know what scale is?
No, do you understand what I'm saying? You're switching it, bro.
I do. I do. I do.
Yeah,
That's why I'm bringing up
so
scale because I want
do
to
you think
explain
that
something
you're
to you.
blasting through space at 67,000 miles per hour right now? Does
Yes.
anything tell you that? Your common sense. So why?
So if you understand scale, you can take a car that is a normal sized car and you take a smaller car and you look at that scale, that car will be making the same rotations, but will not go. Car could be going the same. That car will not go as the same excuse me, and the same distance as the car that's larger than it. So
Have
to
you ever felt
scale,
the earthquake?
I have felt once.
You felt one. Okay, I'm from California. I felt many earthquakes. Um, An earthquake, it can be a size 1 or 2. It can be tiny, and we'll feel it. We'll feel a little earthquake. But you mean to tell me we're blasting through space at 67,000 miles per hour and spinning around, but I don't feel that because of whatever you're talking about, bro. It's not real. Do you think that the sun is 93 million
So
miles away?
So go back
Like
to
they
my
keep.
thing of scale. So if you take those two cars and the earth shakes, they're on the earth. They're gonna feel that. But when they're driving, that scale speed is very real, just like the scale speed to a so to that speed is relevant and it feels relevant. That's why I'm bringing up scale. So I
We
don't get me
gotta
wrong. You
lie
made a
to
very
ourselves. See, this
you
is
made
what
me
we do.
ponder a little bit. You made me
We
ponder
gotta
a little
we
bit with the
gotta
hot air
lie to
balloon thing.
ourselves in order to believe that we're on a ball. We gotta lie to ourselves. We gotta go outside and say, if nobody ever told you, if you never went to school, which is the brainwashing. That's how they brainwash us. They don't want us to know where we really are. They don't want you to know what this really is. They don't want you to know what the world really is. They want to tell you you're on a giant spinning ball and there's nothing else to be explored. There's no other land, there's no other worlds, there's no other creatures that exist. This is it right here. So, what we want you to do is believe that this is it right here, and you go ahead and you go work a job. You go work a job until you're about 60 years old and you're too old to do anything, and then go ahead and die off. That's what they want you to do. They want everybody to just work, work, work. That shit is not real, bro. It's not real. That's why when I ask you, is the Earth spinning around, or are you spinning at 1,000 miles per hour? You're like, you kind of like, yeah, I guess I believe it. And the only reason every single person, it's 219 people in here. The only reason every single person believes it is because we got taught that in school.
Why do you believe you're a man? Because you were taught you're a man. No one put a word to that. We were taught that. There's a
Yeah,
difference.
I didn't
So what
have to
you're
go to
arguing, and
school though.
my point, dude,
I
is
didn't have to
you're
go to
trying to
school.
no, because if
I'm
you didn't
saying
go to school,
before, look,
if
I'm
school
saying
never existed, we would
before the
never
whole
know.
globe thing, before 1902, everybody knew that the earth was flat.
Look, and before, okay. So, and here's my thing, because you flat earthers to talk about stuff, and then you guys don't actually carry out the experiments. If the Earth was really flat and you were right about Antarctica, it would be nothing for you guys to go up there and take an expedition. It is demilitarized. It is only there for peace. There is nothing that says you cannot go there. I just looked it up 3 different times and looked at 4 different
Bro, you
sources.
can't go
There
to
is no.
Antarctica.
That's
Bro,
not
listen,
true.
listen, listen. You can't go to Antarctica. You can't. You can't take your private plane and go fly to Antarctica. You can't do that. That's 100% facts. How many people do y'all know that went to Antarctica? Do y'all know anybody that went to Antarctica?
There's a team. There's people up there that take pictures of the dude.
How many people do you
There,
know said I just took a trip and I went to Antarctica?
how many people do you know want to go to Antarctica?
Everybody that you hear about that says the earth is flat, they want to go to Antarctica. That you call crazy, they're just nuts. They're conspiracy theorists. They want to go to Antarctica, but guess what? You can't. It's called the Antarctic Treaty. You can't go.
Yeah, you gotta. Because I guess my biggest argument here is if the Earth was truly flat, that would be easier to prove than proving that it's not. What I mean by that is, didn't matter if they told us we could or couldn't. If we all decided to, if people decided to go, they would have 2 choices. They would have to kill us, sink our ship like they did with Area 51 or threatened to, or we found out the truth. That is not the case. And by the way, I want you guys to all understand this. If you think the Earth is flat, that means, or maybe you don't actually agree that the space exists, and that may be part of it. But if you think the Earth is flat, you're set that a flat piece of land with water floats through the
That's what it
universe.
is, bro. That's what it is. And the only reason you think that it's a ball, it's way more silly to think we're on a giant spinning ball, spinning around, and none of the water comes off, nothing falls off, and we're spinning around and we're blasting through space at 67,000 miles per hour. The stars never change. That's what's really silly to believe. Nothing tells you that. When I go outside, it tells us all that we're not moving. We're stationary. This right here. This is the standardized map of 1892. This is the world map right here that everybody used. This is the flat Earth in 1892. That's the map that everybody used. It was flat Earth before the 1900s. Let me switch this back. Before the 19 and this is what. Hold on. Let me switch it back. Before the 1900s, everybody knew it was flat. Even after the 1500s, when Copernicus came out with the whole globe Earth theory, everybody still knew it was passed on from generation to generation. Do you know what changed between 1892 and then the early 1900s, 1910, 1920, and 1912? Universal came out. Universal Studios, and you know how they show the globe in front of every movie? We look at the globe, that started getting pushed on us. And do you know that it was mandatory for every single classroom to have a globe inside the classroom? It was mandatory. What made it was school, and the curriculum was created by the Rockefellers. The white surrounding everything, that's Antarctica on the perimeter. And outside of Antarctica, the people that got to explore it, they said there's other land masses and there's beings on the land outside of Antarctica. They want to be
Are
free.
those the giants that the people like to refer to? What's it called? Here's my thing about this whole thing: is that it is easier to prove the Earth is flat, but no one seems to be able to do so. But all they want to do is just say, "Well, how do you feel?" Look, if I
Nah,
go outside, I'm standing
no,
on the ground.
bro,
I
I
don't know
just
where I
pulled up
am.
the map. I just pulled up the standardized map of 1892, bro. It was flat. Everybody knew it was flat. All we got to do is go to history to see what's going on. Nobody can really prove that it's a ball. All we can say is, hey, look, science. They already told us in science class, as if we don't know that they be lying. When the whole CVID came out, and they told us all we had to go get them jabs and all of that. People, they lying to us. They lie. But about this, everybody want to act like it's the truth. We married to what they taught us. All of y'all in the comment section, the only reason you believe it is because you went to school and you got brainwashed into believing that. I believed it too. I thought I
I
was on
guess
a
what I'm trying
giant
to say to
spinning
you
ball.
is
What?
no one's the biggest proof that the biggest thing that made me say huh was the hot air balloon. Like, because on if you just say that out loud, if you don't think about it too deeply, that wouldn't make sense. If you go up in a hot air balloon, the Earth is truly spinning. You come down 22 hours later. You shouldn't be in the same spot. You should see the Earth rotate. I don't believe so. When you think about scale, gravity, that does not make sense. Um, and again, like I said, I guess my biggest
Hey,
thing here is
yes, it does make sense. Hold on, bro. That does make sense. When you talk about scale and gravity, it don't make sense. That makes sense. That's why they did it back in the day. And the ground
so
doesn't
what?
move. The shit don't move
So
because we're
when
stationary.
storms,
And the
so when
sun
storms
rotates
come,
around the flat earth. That's what's really going on. We're more important than we think. You know why they tell us that? They want you to feel insignificant. They want you to think that you're just like this was a random big bang explosion and there was no purpose in creating this land right here that we all live on. There was no purpose. There's no whatever you believe in. There's no God. I'm not religious, but there's no God. There's no creator. This was all random. It was dust floating in the air and then it blew up. And the fact that you're here, it does not matter. You're not that important. You see what I'm saying? The sun doesn't revolve around you. The sun is 93 million miles away. When no, the sun revolves around us. The stars move around us.
so
We are way more important than they teach us. We're not
and
what they
so
teach us that we are. We didn't
what
evolve from apes. Y'all believe that too? Do you believe that? You got taught that in school too. We were
do
monkeys
I
and then we turned into humans. You believe that?
no, because then why they're still fucking monkeys? I think that there's a group of I think that can be simply explained the same way that people are naturally getting taller. That people like that. That's just from like I do believe that Neanderthals existed. There were certain groups of Neanderthals that showed qualities that then they were the only perfect people to reproduce, and that's how we've been able to kind of get to the point of evolution that we are now.
Notice there ain't no
Um,
Neanderthals no more either.
I mean they were the a non. So it's just like short dudes, right? At some point women are gonna pick men to the point where there's not gonna be many, if at all, short people. And in fact, the average height will continue to rise. That is a
I mean,
clear sign.
I still see no disrespect. I heard, well, you got to call them little people and not midgets. So little people, we still see little people, but we don't see any Neanderthals though. You see what I'm saying? Everything that
So
they taught, people hear the saying. Everything that you were taught was a lie, and we hear it and we just like we don't even care. We care about the basketball game, going to the club, all of these distractions. You know what I'm saying? Got to go to work, got to do all of this shit. And we don't really think about it. When they say everything that we were taught was a lie, that's facts. Everything that we were taught was really a lie. There's a purpose in why they told you that you live on a spinning ball that was randomly created because some dust exploded in space. There's a reason they told you that. All of the books that the ancient people that were here before us, they took all of those books and they hid them all because why? They would tell us the truth and it will make us where we can't be enslaved how we are.
I don't
We're the
disagree.
modern day slaves going to work, paying taxes. That's all everybody does. That's all everybody focuses on.
I
Go to
don't
work, pay your
disagree
taxes.
that it was that the way to corrupt people is to take them away from their roots. I don't disagree that if you want to disenfranchise a community or anyone, that all you have to do is separate them from who they really are. And so I do believe that that has been done in the mass. But the flat Earth is one of those things where it's like that unfortunately just does not make sense. It's one of those things that we just so happen to get wrong. Because it's not like us saying like, hey, us saying like, hey, we're originally from here for a fact. We did this for a fact. We just so happen to get taken out of that. We were here. We did these things. There's a difference between that and just evolution showing us that we were wrong. It's okay to be wrong. I mean, I think they were a little bit. I mean, they didn't think they could run under 6 miles. They think they couldn't do a mile under 6 minutes. Now people are doing it in four.
All
So
y'all, all y'all that believe you're on a giant spinning ball is because you got taught that in school and you fell for the lie. And I fell for it too. I fell for the lie too. It's a lie. That shit don't make no sense. That we're on a giant spinning ball and nobody can tell we're spinning unless after. You ask a little kid, 5 years old, yeah, are you spinning around right now? Do you think the world is spinning? We're spinning it. They know and they laugh. No, I'm not spinning. But after they hit that schooling, ask somebody 13, 14, ask a grown man 35 after they hit that schooling. They done been programmed with the brainwashing.
yeah, and if you ask a child what makes the sky blue, they're not going to be able to answer that either.
Do you know what makes the sky blue? We can talk about that.
Something in our atmosphere.
No, it goes into the flat earth. The
Why
sky
is
is
the sky
blue
blue?
because there's
In the
water
flat
above
Earth
us.
opinion.
Do you know what the firmament is?
So you think the sky is blue? So flat earthers or people who believe in flat Earth think the sky is blue because there's water above us.
Yeah, and that's facts. It's water above us. That's why the sky is blue. Have you heard of the firmament? It's the dome that keeps us all like kind of like a snow globe, like the snow globe. It's the dome that keeps us all entrapped inside of here. It's the giant dome. They talked about it in ancient times. They talk about it in the Bible, the firmament. Look up scriptures about the firmament if y'all don't know what I'm talking about.
That it seems like it would be easier to prove that's not that I feel like that would be easy to prove.
Okay, so why do all the rockets curve? Have you ever saw a rocket that went straight up and kept going straight up?
I mean, typically rockets do go straight up. Literally, that's the easiest way. So maybe from my viewpoint, it
Somebody,
might look like a curve, but
yeah, yeah.
from
There's
where it
never
starts
been.
to where it ends,
You
that is a
won't
direct
find not
straight
one
line.
video. Anybody that's in here, you won't find not a single video of a rocket that goes up and it keeps going straight up. Every single video, I don't care if you look at 150 videos, it'll be going up and it'll start to curve every single time because of the firmament. You could say it's a joke, you could say it's all of this, but go find a video for real. Do your own research like me. That shit shocked me. Somebody
No, if you
told me
want to
that,
ask
and
me
then
my honest
I
opinion,
go
I'm
to
gonna
look
say
it up.
Antarctica.
I go
I'm
to
gonna say
look it up because
Antarctica.
I'm trying to prove them wrong. Like this dumbass, this rockets go up and they go into space, and then I'm looking at every single back-to-back videos. They all curve, all of them, every single video. They start turning, and it's because of the firmament. We can't go outside the firmament.
What happens if we go outside the permanent?
We can't go outside the firmament.
Why can't we?
If you're trying to walk through a glass door, and then you can't just go walk through the glass door because it's right there and it's blocking you, that's how the firmament stops you.
So,
It keeps all the water out.
so
There's
what do you think?
water
We're under?
above
You
us
think we're
and water
underwater?
below.
Do you think we're
What's
actually
up?
the city of Atlantis?
Do I think what?
I said at that point you must we must think we're the city of Atlantis. That is literally like you just explained Atlantis, surrounded by water with a glass dome around it, and we're like that's a very similar. So that doesn't make like that's very because
It is what it is, bro.
mm,
Yeah, that's why the sky is blue. Somebody else explain why the sky is blue and why the rockets curve and why rainbows curve in the shape of a dome. Somebody explain that to me.
because in your opinion they should go straight.
The rocket, yeah, when they blast out of
Do you watch
space,
Rick and
they're supposed
Morty?
to be. What's up?
Do you ever watch Rick and Morty?
I've seen certain clips, but I never sat down and watched it. Like,
There's a clip
no.
where Rick goes like, "Do you want to experience? Do you want to experience true level?" Right? There
Hmm.
is a there, so what the reason why I bring this up is because as a natural state and being, we are never going to be. When I'm looking at something, that's not the exact view. You know what I mean? That's not it. When I look at a rocket and I'm 200 miles away, wherever that video is taken, of course it's going to look like it's curving because that's where it took off from. So like,
Bro, I'm saying like, y'all go to YouTube right now and just look up the videos of rockets taking off. If you got a computer next to you, bro, pull it up. Take some time off of this live and really go pull up videos of rockets blasting, and every single one, 100 out of 100, are gonna curve. And then you come back and explain to me why they all curve. And then you're gonna be like, oh shit, maybe there is a firmament. Maybe he not a crazy conspiracy theorist. Maybe he done put a lot of research into this and really checked it out. Because I was just like all of y'all. I thought I was on a big ass ball, spinning around and shit, blasting through space, and everything is random and I'm insignificant and I don't matter like that. Nah.
but you prefer this idea that you do matter. You're not insignificant. You are significant.
Hell yeah, all of us.
However, I'm
Every one of
saying
y'all in here. Bro, do you remember your dreams?
depending.
Okay. Yeah, that's important. Are dreams important to you? Are they spiritual?
Yes, they allow me to do stuff that I could not do, or I wouldn't. How can I put it? They allow me. It's just like virtual reality. I can do a lot of things in my dreams I cannot do here on this earth. I can understand things. I mean, I've even come up with certain ideas that as soon as I wake up, I have to write them down because I can. It's like you can visualize. You can see things in 3D, 4D. You can do different things in your dreams. You can have complete control of your dreams. So yes, I do think they're important.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Your dream told you the Earth was flat.
Did my dreams say, nah, my dreams didn't say the earth is flat, bro. I really looked into it. I dove into it super heavy. I didn't like
So do you believe in
all
giants?
these people in here, bro, they came by and they see, oh, he got the earth is flat. I baited y'all in here by putting the earth is flat and all of that. I knew y'all would come in saying, no, 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 it's a globe. But everybody, we see somebody say that the earth is flat, and then we instantly ridicule them and we write them off. It's like, oh, they're crazy, they're stupid. And we're programmed to do that. This is why
I
on
don't
the
think
news
creators
they
are
call people
stupid.
flat earthers because what they don't want you to do is what I did. I went and I actually looked into it. I listened to the people that was saying it was flat. Well, let me hear them out because I don't know that it's a ball. It's true. I just learned that in school. When I go outside, the shit, it do look still. It don't feel like I'm moving. So I go and I look into it, and you find out, oh, they got a whole bunch of facts, and it's actually nuts to think that we're on a big ass ball. That shit is worse than kids believing in Santa Claus. To think we're on this big ass ball and we spinning, and everything tell us that we not. And then they use the savior word, gravity. Yeah, people are on the bottom of the ball and they don't know they're on the bottom of the ball. They can't tell they're upside down at all. They feel like they're right side up. It's because of gravity. That's why.
I
But your phone
just
was muffled, bro. Say it again.
Oh, my bad. The reason why I brought it, because what you said is that you listen to these people about the flat earther, and just like you don't know whether or not Atlantis actually existed or not. If you can
Right.
look up about Atlantis, there's enough videos that would typically convince the normal person that if not, it was pretty close, or it did. The same thing about giants, because the Bible also mentions just giants. So I don't think that you're stupid. I don't think that you're dumb. I also just don't think that people are proving their points. I think people just say stuff and use because at the end of the day, we could take an we no because just like they did with Area 51, we could all get up there and just try to go. And if they try to stop us, you guys would have a very valid point. Like, hey, they just literally tried to stop us to go into Antarctica, which is not because I looked it up, looked at three different things. They're not supposed to be able to. It's for It's for it was demilitarized. No country can actually claim it, and it was only for peaceful exploration, which means that we should be legally able to get on a boat all together, go up there, and walk from one point and go and walk to the other. And the fact that if you truly feel that flat Earth is true, that would be the first thing I would do. Because at that point, you guys have a lot of there's almost no denying it. The fact of the matter is that you guys have a very easy way or easier way to prove it, and that there's no one that's even attempted to. And that to me is like, come on.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna ask you. This is the thing with people that disprove it, that say I'm a debunk flat Earth and it's not true. How much time, how many hours of research have you put into figuring out what's going on about flat Earth and why people believe that the Earth is flat? Before you came on this live, how much time in your life did you spend researching that?
More than 10, less than like 11.
Okay, so what all did you come across? What are some big names in the flat Earth space? Like, what did you come across?
I don't remember. This is back when Kyrie Irving made the statement. That was the whole reason why I was like, all right, let's like homeboy's crazy. And I watched some videos and I got really deep into YouTube
Okay,
and
so there it
so
goes.
for me to
There it
pretend like
goes,
I
though, bro. You just said homeboy is crazy. So right there, you're not going into something with an open mind. You're looking
here's
for
my thing.
somebody to validate your thought that he's crazy. So you're gonna find videos of people debunking him. You're not
No,
gonna
I
really give
wasn't.
it a chance and really look into it.
I didn't mean that he was crazy. I'm like, homeboy crazy. There ain't no way this is true. But I still looked into it. The same way I think about Atlantis. And I'm like, and if anything, I think there's more evidence pointing that there was Atlantis and giants than that the earth is flat. Because you guys are saying that the earth is currently flat right now, and yet there's no one. Again, this goes back to my point. This is a very easy thing to prove. You guys can talk all this nonsense you want, but until we get on the ship and we go to Antarctica, because that seems to be the easiest way. And again, I looked it up. It's just demilitarized, so we should be able to. And again, if they stop us from going, I'll validate. I'll turn into a flat earther all day. Until we get to, and if we get to Antarctica, we travel and we go from one side of Antarctica to the other, and there is no continuation. We're not on the.
Last person to do it is Admiral Byrd, and he got approved by the military. The government sent him out there to explore it. And when he came back, there's an interview. You're not gonna find it on YouTube easy, but you type in Admiral Byrd interview about Antarctica. And when he comes back, he says,
Our very distinguished guest for this evening is Admiral Richard E. Byrd.
Is there any unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. Strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole, on the other side of the South Pole, from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
This is a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
and it's crazy because in the news, I was looking up, see, I really looked into this shit, bro, for real. I'm looking up the news clips in the 40s. This was in the 1940s when he went. And I'm looking up the news clips where they're talking about when he went. So they're like, yeah, General Admiral Byrd is going to his mission to explore Antarctica. And the news reporter says he's going to the outer edge of the Earth.
Admiral Byrd's expedition to the South Pole entered the polar seas after a voyage of 11,000 miles from the United States, plowing down to the uttermost edge of the world through waters studded with the menace of ice.
That's what the newscaster said, because mind you, they knew it. They knew it even into the 1900s. It's just recently, y'all the ones, all the people in here fell for the lie. We got conditioned so much. Every time you see a Universal movie, it got the globe. Every single classroom you go into, it got the globe. Everybody else say it's a globe, and they laugh at anybody that says something different. But they said he was going to the outer edge of the Earth. Why would they say he's going to the outer edge? Because, like I said, Antarctica is the perimeter surrounding the land masses, and we're in the middle. Then there's water around us, and there's Antarctica. And he said there's land masses that we have not explored or discovered. You know what would happen if they let us know that there was more land somewhere else? What do humans want to do? Oh, I want to see. I want to go. They don't want us doing that. They don't want us wanting to go and explore and see what else is going on and finding out different truths about life. What they want us to do is go to school, then maybe go to college, but get a job. They need people to work at the McDonald's. They need people to be plumbers. They need people to be lawyers. They need people to be doctors. They need people to build cars. They need people to build apartments, build houses. That's what they want us to all do. Be worker bees.
So one, you can't go to Antarctica. You have to go to Argentina. You can either you can cruise there. You can charter a flight for $6,000. It is during certain times of year when the weather allows you to. So now to move on to what you just stated, I refute the fact that you're trying to use, because I don't deny that they keep certain things in place to make sure that we're working, to make sure that does not stop.
Oh,
I will not
all right.
deny
Let
that.
me
What I
pull up
will
the
deny is
Antarctic Treaty.
that flat Earth does not make sense in order to keep that, because you can do that with so many different ways. And so again, if 10 years, if someone goes to Antarctica and they say, "Hey, we're not allowed to go there," and I'm like, "What the hell?" Yeah, I'm a believer in the flat Earth. If they get to Antarctica and they travel and they're like, "Hey, you just keep going all the way up into the other side. You keep just roaming the Earth." I'm gonna look at them
Okay,
like, I believe
this
in the
what
flat
I'm.
Earth. But oh yeah, you think I'm it's now on my to do list is to go to Antarctica now, because the fact that you just said you couldn't is like, one, if it was true you couldn't go to Antarctica, you would I would be like, all right, maybe. You would get like 25% that maybe the earth is flat. Just because to keep a people out of somewhere for pure exploration is very weird to me. But again, that's not the case. And again, when we as human beings want to, like, I believe that there's aliens on this earth and in Area 51 more so than a flat earth, because when we tried to go there, they made sure to stop us. It wasn't
Okay,
like, you guys are
do
just
you know
tripping.
why you believe that there's aliens though? Because that's a proves for you to think that aliens are real. When you go to the History Channel and the History Channel don't give the truth, right? The History Channel does not tell the truth. You can't go to the History Channel to find out something that they don't want you to know. They want you to think that there's aliens. That's what they want you to believe, that there's aliens. That's why there's a show on the History Channel called Ancient Aliens. And they teach people that aliens are real.
They don't teach
All of
you.
the shit that they don't want you to know, look up is there a cure for I don't want to say the word, but
Yeah, there
the
is.
illness that starts with a C, yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. But look it up. Do you know who Dr. Sebi is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know he was curing that, right?
Yeah, but
Okay, okay, so Google did Dr. Sebi cure the C word and see what it say. It's gonna tell you no. He's a self-proclaimed healer. No, there's no cure for it. Even though he went to Supreme Court and he proved it in Supreme Court. The judge told him bring in 9 people that he healed, and bro brought in 77 people, documented with the Supreme Court, but they don't want people to know that. So it's gonna lie to you. You won't ever see Dr. Sabi on one of these health channels, Dr. Oz or something. Oh, you won't never see that. You're gonna see them throwing him in jail.
I
Explain
think
nighttime. Nighttime is simple. The sun goes away. The sun. Okay, this is what I'm gonna explain to you. This is how you explain the sun and nighttime right here, y'all. This is what it really go. So the sun, mind you, let me pull it back up so y'all can see the flat Earth right here. So you see the sun rotates around. My finger keep leaving, but it goes around like this. That's how the sun goes around. It goes around in a circle like that. That's how it rotates. And the sun, it's not 93 million miles away. It's right here. It's not far away at all. Now imagine being in your room and you turn on a flashlight. You got a flashlight on, it's dark in your room, and you put the flashlight about, let's say, 6 inches away from the floor. The light is going to light up that area only. Your flashlight is not going to light up and make it bright around the entire room. There's going to be a sunspot or a light spot. And then you move it around the room and it lights up that area right below it. That's what the sun does. It lights up its area. So when we think that it's going down, it just goes out of sight. The sun just goes out of sight. And there's videos of it slow motion. The sun comes by in the air, you see it on that side, it comes into your vision, and then it crosses above you, and then it keeps going, and then it goes out of eyesight. And that's when it gets dark, when it's no longer in your area anymore. How about the moon? The moon does the same thing. The moon rotates in a circle like that around the flat earth. The moon does the exact same thing. Is the sun flat too? See, now y'all being silly. That's silly. You being silly. The earth is the center. Yes. Yes, the earth is the center of the universe. 100%. And what we're not on a planet actually. Earth is not a planet. It's a plane. It's a plane. If you know the definition of a plane, it keeps going. It's not a plane. People are going to say, oh, he's calling it a plane like I'm talking about an airplane. No, it's a plane. It's land that keeps going and going. And like I
That's
said,
why I asked if you watch Rick and Morty, because I do understand what the plane is. That's something that was involved in one of the episodes to a certain level. I do understand what the plane is. That means that if you go, it's never going to stop. And so, like, yeah, don't get me wrong. There's no edge. If you keep walking, they're just going to, quote unquote, just keep moving. And there's never going to be an end to it. And so, again, I'm going to drop from this. But look, when I go to Antarctica, or if I don't get to go, if I try to go to Antarctica and they tell me no, I'll start believing in flat Earth.
what you can't do in Antarctica, you're not going to be able to just go explore Antarctica. You can't freely explore Antarctica. But I appreciate you coming
I'll
up,
be
bro.
damned if they
You
tell
are
me
you
I
are
can't.
respect. Go ahead.
If they tell me I can't, I believe in the flat Earth, because then they're trying to keep something from me.
They gonna
If
tell
they
you.
let those people go down to the bottom of the ocean with without a sign off from anybody, and they're gonna try to tell me I can't travel through Antarctica, I would start believing in flat Earth a little bit. It would cast some doubt in my mind about if the Earth is actually round. Because what are they hiding at that point? So don't get me wrong. If that what you're saying is true, and I try to travel, then they say no, I'm gonna look at them. I'm gonna be like, oh, y'all wilding.
It's gonna be a certain area that you have to stay in. You cannot just go explore Antarctica freely, bro.
I want to go from one point to another point, and I want it because if it's a plane, I will never get to that other point. So look, if I want to walk from Ohio, if I want to drive from Ohio to Florida, there's point A to point B. There's a start to an end. If I would get here in Antarctica, and they're saying this is the edge of Antarctica, the other side, if I walk, I should be able to get to that edge. And there's a certain time, measurement, miles, and if any of that's off by a significant amount, or if I never get to the end, and I'm like, oh well, I should by now, or I should have by now hit the end, and my calculations are right, that means we are on a plane. You are right. That means we are on a plane. But my point
Bro,
being here is,
we're on a plane. It's already. I see what you're saying. Like you want to prove to yourself. All you got to do is go do the research, though. And I'm not talking about going YouTube and type in "Is the Earth flat?" Y'all got to go to Odyssey. It's ODYSEE and look up videos about the flat Earth because they ban it. Go to Odyssey or a site called BitChute.com and watch the videos that got banned that they didn't want anybody to see. That's how you can learn the truth. And you really look it up. When somebody says that the sun, it really rotates around us and it's not 93 million miles away, what it does is it comes by and it passes the top of us and then it goes out of sight. That's what we think the sun is going down. It goes out of sight. And then you go and you look up the videos, the sun coming to you and going out of sight. Look up those videos and you'll see they play it in slow motion. And that's exactly what it does. But you got to look everything up. Look up John D. Rockefeller, how he started the General Education Board in 1902. And he said, I want a nation of workers and not thinkers. What are we going to teach them for 12 years? It takes 12 years for somebody to get programmed. Well, what are we going to teach them for 12 years? At first, we were just going to church for a couple hours to learn how to read and write. 12 years, what are we going to do? We're going to teach them everything about nothing. That's what we're going to do. And that's what they did. And that's why people in here don't know nothing about it, don't have a clue, and they think it's funny. Oh, somebody thinks the earth is a flat. Oh, what an idiot. He doesn't believe it's science. He doesn't
no, I
believe
think
that he was
people
taught
are
in school.
dumb. I don't disagree with you. I think people are dumb and we buy anything. So if I bought the earth is round, just as much as I think that, like, so if I'm sitting here saying, like, oh, the earth is not flat, you're dumb, I can also be dumb because I bought the earth is round. So, you know what I mean? We're sold stuff. There's a TV show where it's called Atlantis, where for some reason these people decided to put these people in a dome, and And they spread a lie to these people like, hey, you have to do this, this, and this in order to survive. And that was never truly the case. And it didn't take till after generation and after generation after generation they bought into a lie. And they tell anybody that did not believe that, they were false. It turns out they were wrong. So I
That's
do believe that happens, but I guess
that's
my thing
exactly,
is,
bro. That's what you just explained is exactly what happened with flat Earth. Everybody knew it was flat, and then we're the ones. All of these people in the comment section that think it's so crazy that the Earth is flat, they're the ones. This is the result. That's why they think like that. That's
and
why they
so
taught it to us in school.
again, I'm gonna, like I said, if the goal now is gonna be, I'm gonna go to Antarctica, and I'm gonna want to walk from point A to point B, and if I can do that, I'm gonna continue to believe in the round Earth. The second I can't, you flat earther theories, y'all got me, and I'll become and I'll swear by it, and I'll be having proof because I would, there's like I said, you can't go to the bottom of the ocean and go to the Titanic with no true seal of approval, but we can't take a simple expedition in a country and not do anything that just because it's demilitarized. You're right, that would make no sense. So if they try to stop me or they prevent it, it would make sense as if they're hiding something. Because again, just like in that TV show, there were certain places people were not allowed to go because the truth was just beyond that. And so, like I said, that's why I think there's aliens. Because if Area 51, if they didn't want to keep people in there, or they didn't want to, they would not go to that resort or that strength if there wasn't already something they want to just keep from the general knowledge, not just one person. I think if just one person was going to go in there and leave out, they would just kill them, or just wipe their brain, whatever you want to call it, unalive them, whatever you want to call it. But
Okay,
if you're
well,
telling me,
go check out Eric Dubé. Eric Dubé. Watch his content and don't go into it. Oh, he's an idiot. Go watch some videos, watch the full long form content, and see everything that he presents in his videos, and see if it sounds like it's stupid or like he's crazy. He brings up the documentation. He brings up everything. Check out Eric
I
Dubé,
don't
bro.
believe, I don't believe flat Earth is stupid. Well, because like I said before, I do believe human beings are dumb, and over generations we can be sold anything. And if you're telling me at the beginning or almost at the beginning, because at the end of the day, with a flat Earth, which you're talking about with that plane, that is that they are saying that Adam and Eve or whoever was set here on a plane to reproduce and to have a mass amount of people, and that was started from the beginning all the way to now. And at some point, we lost the identity of a flat Earth. That, if anybody understands how human beings are in their nature, that is very, very believable. So I don't think at all that you guys are, how can I put this, dumb,
Yeah, so
wrong, or unintelligent.
I wish I could show the part. This is the world map of 1892 again. So how do you think it went from this being the world map? Flat Earth is the world map in 1892 to everybody believing that we're on a ball. It's exactly what you're talking about, bro. Is what happened. They
Because in
conditioned us all.
1892, we did
What's
not
up?
have the same resources we have now. My car can go 120 miles an hour, at least I believe it can. They didn't have that. They didn't have the same capabilities we do. So that's why I believe the Earth is round, because I believe they did not have the same abilities
So
that
they
we do.
made ground,
So,
bro. Just like when Sabi figured out how to cure the big C word,
mhm,
Cancer. They
I
didn't figure it
believe
out. They
that.
didn't say we have the new technology now and we're able to cure it. What they did was they shut it down, bro.
That's my
They didn't
point. So
want
if they
to.
shut this down, there is a real thing there. There is something to be known there. There is an unknown. There is a known. Now it becomes, instead of being an unknown. Instead of it being a known, it becomes a known unknown. As in, I know that you guys are hiding something from me, and again at that point, that's only fueling the fire for you guys. Like, hey, that makes sense. That the flat Earth, they may be right, but again, what you guys are talking about is something so systematically difficult that in my mind, I cannot believe that. It's like a prime example. The reason why I believe more in giants and Atlantis is because those are so. If a continent sinks and the people in that see the continent sink, there's only a certain amount of people that see it sink. So if you, no matter how good a word of mouth is, if there's no social media, no video pictures, and no pictures, nothing to actually capture that moment, you're gonna sit there and you're only gonna hear word of mouth. So I can believe at some point that word of mouth died out, just like giants. Even though there's other, but at the end of the day, you're trying to say something that with technology makes it more provable that you're right and that there's no, because at the end of the day, it would be nothing for you to take a whole exploration team of flat earthers, because there's rich people that believe this too, and sit there and go from and walk and or travel 40, 50, 60 miles each day until you enter the end of Antarctica. If you ever do, because if you don't, and you should have hit that a while
We
ago.
can't do that, bro. And to be honest, I'm not even interested in doing all of that. And I'm trying to prove I already know what's up. I already
I
did the
want to do that
research.
now.
I'm
I want to
talking.
do that now.
I didn't do a 10-hour quick after Kyrie Irving, which I don't even think you looked into it for 10 hours with an open mind, and you was really trying to. You wanted to find out the truth. I'm trying to figure out what's going
I
on.
want
Is
to
it
know the
really a
truth
ball
so
or could it
much.
be flat? I make videos about this shit.
If
That's what
what
I'm
you're
known
saying
for.
is correct, it makes sense. How can I put it? Human beings are often lied to shape reality. And if you can't prove that, there's going to be that. But right now we can. So I'm not going. If anything, I have the most open mind because I want to go in there. Because at the end of the day, if I travel and they say no, I'm gonna start believing in flat Earth. Because now some things make sense. Now some things that I didn't think make sense make a little bit more sense. Some, don't get me wrong, a lot of things that I thought made sense will no longer make sense, and that will be up to me to figure out later. But at some point, I would not be able to deny that, because I care about the truth. That's why I call myself Mr. 1%, because I don't want to lie to anybody. Look, I didn't come into it. I came into it the same
You
things that I
didn't
thought
tell
about
the
it.
truth though, bro. You didn't tell the truth when I said when you go outside, off common sense, not based off what you learned in school. Do you believe that you're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour? Is there something telling you that? You lied and you said, yeah. You tried to make it seem like you didn't tell the truth. Because
No,
anybody that's telling
excuse
the
me.
truth will
If
be
you're
like,
saying off
no,
of
what it
common
does, it
sense,
does look like it's still outside. It looks stationary outside to keep it 100. And yeah, I did. What made me believe that is because yeah, I learned it in school. Yep.
that's what. So I took that as a. When you asked me is the Earth spinning, I answered you as what I learned in school. If I go outside and you ask me for how you feel, can you feel the Earth spinning? I will absolutely say absolutely not. But that's why I brought up scale. Because if I was larger, if I was larger, I may be able to
Bro, is
feel
it
that.
possible? Is it possible that scale has nothing to do with? Is it possible that
Yes.
you could have just been lied to and you're not spinning, and
Yes.
outside of scale and everything, you're just stationary? That's what it
Yes.
is.
That is
That's
that
what
is
the truth is.
possible.
That's what
That
the
is
truth is,
possible.
bro.
That is okay. I mean, that's again. I'm gonna try to look. My goal now, one of my life goals now, is to go to Antarctica, like, because I want to know, not because I want to prove you wrong, or not because I want to prove myself right, because as a person, I want to know.
Hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah, yeah, bro. For sure. I don't want to hold you. I know you said you had to hop off, but
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming up, bro. I enjoyed our
No, I
conversation.
enjoyed the conversation. I followed you. I mean, look, I can't. Here's my thing. For me to discredit you means, because there's people who don't believe in Atlantis, giants, aliens, and that would be wrong for me to discredit. I would feel slight if they discredited me. So for me to discredit you, and you've made, like I said, the biggest thing was the hot air balloon. That's the one that kind of got me like, what? Yeah, that actually does kind of make valid sense, because if you go at one place, that makes sense. I'm not gonna at all discredit what you're saying if it makes valid sense. But if there's something I can prove, I want to prove it. And what you're telling me is Antarctica is the key to proving the flat Earth theory. Because a theory is exactly that, to be turned into a fact. So, and the fact you guys,
You could look up. You like I said that should prove it right there. The world map of 1892. But if you really want to get all the little details, I'm talking. That's just one that I said right there. The whole hot air balloon thing. Go look at Eric Dubay on YouTube. Eric Dubay. If you really want to learn about it and you want to see what's going on, just check that out. Yeah, gravity is a theory for sure.
okay. Well,
But
you have
yeah,
a good day,
bro.
all right?
Yeah, for sure. You
Good
too. Much
luck. I
love, bro.
appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. Much love to you.
All right, much love to you too.